across the country to close. But as Chris Martinez shows us, some restaurant owners are finding new ways to safely serve their customers.
At Lady Bird Cafe, a unique way to dine outdoors.
Hi, everyone.
Hey.
This is Michelle reporting outside of the Philadelphia Photo Arts Center. We're going to take you inside and show you our latest exhibition, 10 Years. I'm with my co-host, Andre Pak. But first, we're going to hear a few words from Sarah Stolva, our CEO and Artistic Director.
Hi.
Hello.
Hey, Sarah, we can hear you.
Okay, I just didn't know. I didn't know if I was waiting till they go in. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for being here virtually for our gallery opening and artist talk about our current exhibition, 10 Years, which exhibits work of 10 years worth of artists, not all of them, but some of them that were able to participate in our longstanding program, Teen Photo, currently entitled the Honickman Foundation Teen Photo Program. I'm going to leave it up to Michelle to talk more about the program itself. But for those of you that are new to PPAC, we are dedicated to contemporary photography through exhibitions, programs, and resources to make work. Even during COVID, we're still up and kicking. So our lab is open, our gallery is open if you want to come see the show in person. We just ask that you make an appointment, and we have tons of online programming. So if you haven't yet signed up for our email list where you can find everything that's happening, please do. I want to thank our Teen Photo Program, some of our long-term funders who have supported this after-school program, which is free to Philadelphia high school students. They include the Lynn and Harold Honickman, Lois and Julian Brodsky, Philip and Edith Leone Foundation, the Philadelphia Cultural Fund, and the David A. Cook Beautiful, Useful, Joyful Foundation. And finally, this exhibition itself wouldn't be possible without the following funders: Lynn and Harold Honickman, John S. and James L. Knight Foundation, the Andy Warhol Foundation for the Visual Arts, and Andrea Walls. I want to thank all our current students and alumni for making this such a beautiful and rewarding and enjoyable program. I want to thank all of our staff members and volunteers and all our members who help make things happen at PPAC, as well as our donors and trustees. So as you can see, it takes a community to make things happen. So I'm so glad that you're part of this PPAC community. So I'm not going to talk any longer. I'll turn it back over to Michelle since she's in the gallery, and you guys will be able to see the show here.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for coming out. If everyone wants to unmute themselves just for a second to say, hey, that would be really great to amp up this energy in this lonely 3-person gallery.
Hey.
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 It's great to
Thank you,
see
everyone.
you.
That's so sweet.
Very excited about Teen Photo.
Amazing. All right. Well, thank you for coming tonight. As Sarah had mentioned, this exhibition is called 10 Years. It celebrates 10 years of teen photo and coincides with our 10-year anniversary of being an photographic arts nonprofit in Philadelphia. Teen Photo started in 2010, was the first year. PPAC opened in 2009. And in 2010 and in 2011, PPAC partnered with the school Kensington Kappa to make a photo program and invite those students to join. We're so lucky to have one of the artists from the first year here tonight, and I'm excited to introduce them later. What else? Teen Years was originally scheduled to open on Thursday, March 12th. Obviously, some things happened. A pandemic occurred. We're still living in it. And so we're really excited to finally celebrate this work. This has been at least a year of work in the making, you know, and then if you think about it, 10 years of work in the making as well, because nurturing and working with young artists across Philadelphia has taken a lot of time and it's been really great. I also want to give out a shout out to Matthew Caston for documenting this exhibition right before we shut down. So folks were able to view the work online. There's beautiful exhibition photos online, as well as Nora, who's going to be helping us with the chat tonight, and Lori, who will be directing. Just a quick note about tonight's programming format. If you could set your Zoom to speaker view instead of gallery view, we're going to have 11 artists presenting their work and talking about themselves tonight. So whoever's talking should be featured on your screen as long as it's in speaker view. And then last, before we get started in the show, I want to introduce Andre Pak, who was with Team Photo for 3 years. I remember him as being YouTube famous the first year that I met him, and he still is, and he will be more than that in the future. So I'm excited to introduce Andre.
Hi, everyone. My name is Andre Pak. Thank you, Michelle, for that lovely introduction. Just in case if you don't know me, I've been a part of Teen Photo since 2016, and I've graduated since then, but I'm very grateful that Teen Photo has even asked me to co-host this event with Michelle, and that Teen Photo has really fostered a community of photographers and really fostered a place for us to explore our creativity outside of photography. And yeah, that's really been amazing to work with. And before we get started, I just want to give a quick shout out to Lori, who is, again, directing the event. And yeah, here she is with her little cute setup. All right, and without further ado, I think we're ready to begin. All right, so the first artist that we will be showing is Makeda Robinson. These are her 2 works. On the left, you see Self-Care in the color yellow, and on the right, you see Black Boy Joy. Makeda has been part of Teen Photo since 2016, and I've been fortunate enough to be acquainted with her through Teen Photo. And ever since I met her, it was very great to see her spark of creativity through photography. I know she's had a good eye, and it's been very great to witness that throughout the years. Since her, she's gone on to join the teen program at the Museum of Modern Art in New York. And fun fact about Makeda, you can see her face on the African American Museum in Philadelphia on 7th and Arch. If you want to find her on Instagram, her Instagram is little.narco.girl. All right, and this is her work. So we have Self-Care in the color yellow, and on the right, we have Black Boy Joy. All right, and I'm gonna pass it off to Michelle for the next presenter.
So I don't know if we've mentioned this quite yet, but this is our first virtual opening. So this is an experiment. We've been open for 10 and a half years at this point, and this is our first virtual opening. So thank you all for being with us tonight. And we're gonna have a lot of fun as we navigate using Zoom with 3 people in 1 room wearing masks. I'd like to share the work of Inez Oliveras. They go by the pen name Zen Olive. These are 3 works, Kalyuri, Lidisi, and Lynn, that she produced. And they involve an element of graphic design and photography. Inez was in our program for 2 years, in 2014 and 2016. And then their mom made these really beautiful cakes. Do you remember those cakes, Andre?
Yeah, they were really good.
They were so good. There's really beautiful cakes, professional cake maker, hit them up. Yeah, and then Inez went on to Delaware Community College where they pursued graphic design. And I just saw that they're also going to Westchester University, which is really exciting. And another thing that we forgot to mention at the beginning was all the work in this exhibition is for sale. So if there's something that speaks to you, if there's something that you really enjoy looking at, you can take it home. You can just email us, contact us for that price list. And then I would like to share this work by Adina Diaz. Adina is an early Teen Photo student. They were in Teen Photo year 2011. And these 2 images are called Golden Serenity. Adina recently participated in a PPAC program called Oh Snap. It's on YouTube. I highly recommend it to learn more about their work. And they're also a brilliant wedding photographer, event photographer. They really know how to use Photoshop. I think we should get them in our classroom, and they're a lighting wizard as well. So happy that we got Adina in this exhibition. This is a piece by Masada Divine. Masada was actually a teen photo intern before she joined Teen Photo. So I think she was here over a summer helping us out with different things, and we scooped her in. I think this is such a beautiful photograph that represents a sort of happiness within our city of Philadelphia. I especially love that on the image it says City of Philadelphia, and there's a direct indicator of where this image was taken. Masada also makes jewelry with her company called Divine by Divine. And they have worked at Taller Puerto Riqueño for a long time, another organization that PPAC loves. So we're gonna take you across the gallery to Meridian's work, who is here with us tonight. Meridian Lowe was a teen photo student in 2013 and 14. And since then, a lot of things have happened in their life, but I will let them take the stage. This piece is called, oh, Meridian, are you there?
Hey. Hello. Can everybody hear me?
Mhm.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. This piece is called In the Realm of Hungry Ghosts. It is, hi, Mary. This is exciting. I just want to acknowledge how nervous I am. But this piece is about the intersections of self-hate and self-obsession. It's all of the selfies that I took while I was using drugs before I got clean and sober. And it's a video that I took, didn't really know what to do with it. And then I kind of collaged it on top of all these photos of myself. So it's every photo booth selfie that I took for like 4 years, compiled into one video. And it's on a loop, which is cool.
Let me know if you when you want to do the share screen. You ready?
Me?
Yeah.
Share screen what? Oh, you can go ahead. Yeah. No, that's my website. I was unclear what was happening. I'm sorry.
Sorry about that.
That's my website, and that's my Instagram, meridianlow.com and at @meridian_low on Instagram. You can go to the next slide. So I was involved in the teen photo program from 2013 to 2014, and it culminated in a book. This photograph was taken in, this is a photograph I took in Canada, somewhere in Canada. It was very cold. Oh, go back. There we go. No, the next one. Sorry, technology is complicated. So I continued with the theme of the intersections between trying to kind of reconcile the two parts of me that are the part of me that is a clean and recovering person, and the part of me that is somebody who used to use drugs and was very self-destructive. So this is a photograph that I took and edited in Photoshop and of myself clean, and then some writing and a doodle that I did while I was using. And I use a lot of collage techniques in order to kind of bring those two parts of myself together. And this one is called I Am Not Just Behind My Eyes. Go to the next slide. And the previous slide. You're clicking too fast. There we go. This one is called Sick Body. And it is a quote, which I can't remember who said it, but it's, when you are not physically starving, you have the luxury of to realize psychic and emotional starvation. It's also something I dealt with a lot, was like, and this is another collage of like selfie type stuff. It's another like trying to reconcile the parts of myself that are like psychically starving and like the physical manifestation of that, and like yeah, so like it's a lot of trying to reconcile two parts of myself that don't seem to fit together but are like coexisting in this one person. And then the next one is an example of some happier work that I've done. This is digital drawing that I've started doing digital drawings more recently. Digital portraits. This is of my little brother. And I just like to have fun with it. Yeah, so this is one that I did, and he was like, do whatever you want with it. So I did whatever I wanted with it. Yeah, I think that's all I have. Are there any questions?
Meridian, you're going back to school, right?
Oh, I am going back to school. I just started yesterday. I am at Delaware County Community College, like somebody else mentioned there, at DCCC, 3 C's. And I am studying studio art, which is something that I would not have gotten into if it weren't for PPAC, because PPAC kind of pushed me into the like film and photography track, and that pushed me back into the studio, like it like back to my first love, which is studio art. And like I remember being like 5 years old and painting and being like, this is so exciting, and then I kind of lost that love for a while.
Meridian was around during my first year of joining the Teen Photo program as far as an administrator goes, and I'm so happy I got to meet them, and I'm so happy about their journey so far. Andre is going to introduce us to some other artists in this show. Thank you, Meridian.
Hi, everyone. So moving forward, our next artist is Erica Ramirez Lorenzo. This piece is called Pondering at a Museum. She's been part of Teen Photo from the 2016 to 2017 term. And I think this photo is so beautiful because it's so simple and you can really see the simplicity and the balance of everything. And yeah, do you have anything to add, Michelle? Okay. Our next artist right next door is from Christian Casanas. This is called Hot Boy Summer. And obviously, because we're in quarantine, we can't really have a hot boy, hot girl summer, hot anything summer. So yeah, but Christian has been part of Teen Photo since 2016 for 2 years. And this is a really cool piece because it isn't your typical frame. It's kind of outside. I'll try to show the 3D effect of it, but it's really cool. Yeah. Moving forward, we have my good friend Pitch Cow, and this piece is called Palm Moon. Pitch has been a part of Teen Photo for 3 years, since 2016, and I've known her since high school, and it's been very cool to see her evolve within photography and like see her use different techniques. And this past year, she just finished her first year of college in Los Angeles, and this is a photo from that. And I think this piece is also really beautiful because the colors really shine bright, and I have a really good affinity with palm trees, so this piece I really enjoy. The next artist we have is from Gavin Taylor, and this is called Cali Beach Sunset, also taken in Cali. And Gavin has been part of Teen Photo from the 2015 to 2016. And yeah, I also love this photo because, I don't know, I just love nature, and the colors over here really speak to me. So yeah, I'll pass it off to Michelle for our next artist. Thank you, Andre, for that. But you're on mute. What?
Thank you, Andre, for that. I would like to introduce our next artist that's going to share their work, Spencer Morris. This is Spencer's work, Paranoia, in our gallery. Spencer was a part of Teen Photo for 3 years. They're currently attending college in Reading, Pennsylvania. And Spencer is here with us tonight. And he's also talked about his work in all the shows. And I know that he's looking forward to have your undivided attention, because sometimes during our Teen Photo openings, there's too much noise going on and we can't even hear the artist. And as much as that's fun, it's also great to hear from the artists themselves.
Hello, everybody. As Michelle said, my name is Spencer Morris, and I've been a part of, I was a part of Teen Photo for 3 years, I believe 2016, all the way up to 2019. So, yeah, so it's my piece, Paranoia. And basically, what it's hinting to is hinting towards the paranoia that's faced amongst young teens in urban environments. I know a lot of the times that the environments aren't pretty much the best for the teens, and the violence, the gun violence, so many things that go on, trauma and things that go on that teens don't typically talk about to everybody. So a side effect of that is paranoia. So, and what it is, that shoot was, it was a fashion shoot, and the idea of it is that fashion and our creativity is what we hold on to kind of suppress that paranoia that we feel on an everyday basis from the things that we go through. That's pretty much what I wanted to highlight. I just wanted to highlight how art and fashion and those things is probably one of the only things that we have to pretty much keep us stable and pretty much keep us going for the most part. So that's why I named the piece Paranoia. And I also have some other stuff to share on the screen share.
I'm going to share screens. There we go.
Oh, that's me, like from like 10th grade. I think that was probably my first exhibition. Yeah, I was in 10th grade that year. And then that's my second one in 11th grade. Yeah. So what these are about, this is my most recent photo shoot, and I felt like it went best with the paranoia theme. And not only from a young male's perspective, I wanted to get it from a young woman's perspective, because, well, I can't speak for a young woman, but I wanted to be able to highlight their struggle way more, because I feel like males and their struggles are always prioritized over women's, and women's struggles need to be on the same platform or heard just as much. And women go through a lot of things, especially young Black women. They go through a lot of things that aren't treated for, that people don't really pay attention to. So again, it's the same concept. Their elegance, their fashion, everything that they have to offer, their creativity, those things, in my mind, keep young women and men stable, so that they can, keep going through life and keep pushing. If we don't have creativity, if we don't have fashion, if we don't have art, then in my opinion, it's like we almost have nothing. And I feel like that's, especially with the way times are going right now, I feel like this is what we need. And I feel like sharing that art with people is just what we need. It's what we need in life. And that's what I wanted to capture with these shots. As you can see, she's very elegant. She's very, she has a lot of scars, a lot of wounds on the inside. But as you can see from the outside appearance, she looks confident. She has her creativity. She has her fashion. And that's kind of what I wanted to express through these photographs.
Uh-oh, I'm in safe driving mode. I'm frozen.
There you go. You're fine.
Oh, I'm there? Okay. Am I muted?
You're fine.
Oh, I'm on. Hi, everyone. Sorry, technical difficulties here. Thank you so much, Spencer, for talking to us. I love hearing you talk about your work. And just from my perspective, watching you progress as an artist has been an honor. Every year you got more conceptual and conceptual. And the last year you started working with those collages and they were so fantastic. I want to share the work with another conceptual artist here, Justice Understanding the Third. Justice Understanding was a part of Team Photo for 2 years. You can't quite see it, but it says, "The moon can only shine as bright as the sun has." And it's kind of like this little doodle sketch. Justice Understanding has a tax business now. They're doing very well. And their father was a famous Philadelphian DJ, which was really cool. And then Justice also helped DJ one of our exhibitions. I think it was, let me see here, 2015, 2016. So that was one thing we really enjoyed doing, was giving, sharing the artist's talents in multiple different ways. Another artist I want to share with you is Danielle Diamico. Danielle is currently a student at Penn State. And this is from one of her recent photography classes called Gel Lighting in the Studio. Andre, did you have class with Danielle?
I think so.
Danielle kept me on my toes. Danielle was always like, what's due next week? What are we doing today? She really kept me on my toes, and I will forever appreciate her for that. And then these are two pieces to the right and to the left of Danielle's piece, Ghoulish Red and Ghoulish Blue by Amion White, who is here with us tonight, and he will also be speaking. Amion, you out there?
Yeah, I'm right here.
It's kind of laggy.
Can you hear me?
Okay, I think it's a little better now.
Hello?
Hello, Amian, are you there?
No. Hello?
Hello?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm here. Hello?
Hey, I
Can
think
you guys
the
hear me?
audio is good. If you want to present
Oh, this
your
is
work.
embarrassing.
Yeah.
Can you hear me? All right. Yeah. Which?
No, go ahead. Speak whatever you feel like.
This is embarrassing. Oh my gosh. All right. So with the, can I show up the ghost one?
Mm-hmm.
Is it me? Oh, so I just talk about like the background of it, like what inspired me and all that.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you can.
All right. So with the ghost photo, my okay. So with the ghost photo, my idea for it was basically, and for 3 years straight before that, I've always wanted to dress as a ghost, but I never really, like, it was always a last minute. So as I was getting more and more into my photography, I need a model for something, I make somebody else a model. So one random day, like, it was very, very cold. I told myself, like, I asked my friend, hey, can you dress up as a ghost for me? So I got all the material. I bought like black face paint. And so I just made his eyes, like around his eyes, all like, I'm sorry, I'm nervous. I made around his eyes all black, and I just put a gold sheet over, and I took that picture.
Hey, Mayan, your work is, I mean, not your work is beautiful. It's on the screen right now, but your audio is kind of breaking up a little bit.
Hello? Is it me?
Hey, Amian. So your audio is kind of breaking up, but we did enjoy what you said so
Am I
far.
talking about this one now? For me, right? My apologies, everyone, if you guys can't.
Wait, I'm sorry, I was on mute the whole time. Yeah, here we go.
Hello?
And then, Amian, I have your other piece on display right now. Ghoulish Red.
Thank you, Amy. We had a little bit of a hard time hearing you. I think the connection was a little iffy. We're gonna keep going because we don't want to keep everyone here all night. A little foreshadowing for tomorrow. I mean, tonight, sorry. So these are two works by Harlan Valentine. I have a personal relationship with these work because they are called Bipolar, Depressive, and Manic. And I have a very close relationship to that mental illness. These are really beautiful, big pieces with a lot of care and detail to these different moments of, paying attention to the nuances of feeling high and feeling low. Harlan Valentine was a part of Teen Photo for 2 years. They were also on OSNAP recently. So if you check out OSNAP to check out Adina, you can also listen to Harlan talk about their recent work. Andre, I think you wanted to chime in on these.
Yeah, I really love these two pieces because the contrast of the two, the left one is blue, the right one is red, and just the attention to detail that Harlan implemented into these two pieces are really cool. And you could tell that they really put in a lot of work and they really emphasize on the colors. And I really appreciate that about these two pieces. All right, so moving forward, I can pass it off to Michelle.
So we're gonna talk about Haiti. Haiti's gonna talk about herself actually, but this beautiful sculpture is by Haiti Bohica, who should be here with us tonight. And I'm just gonna, wait, let me go back and show you this little detail in here. Haiti is a little bit shorter than me, about 5 foot, I think. So this piece is also about, looks like 4 feet, 11 inches, 10 inches. So it's kind of life size in some way. There's another piece of hers over here. Haiti was one of the Teen Photo students that I had to stalk. So I have a history of stalking our Teen Photo past students to try to build our alum archive. I met Haiti at a poetry reading and I'm so happy that I did because now we're really good friends. Katie, are you there?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Yes, so let me talk about the two pieces. So yeah, I am one of the few people that I guess got the opportunity to participate in teen photo, and also I got to teach it or a TA for a couple years. So it was really fun side of things. When I was in teen photo, it was I guess 2012 to 2013. So very, very early stages. But I'm super grateful for the program because it, as a high school student, it helped me introduce me to kind of like the technical aspects of photography and how to utilize it as a tool. I knew that it was something that I wanted to do career-wise. So it was nice to have that foundation built going into college. I ended up going to art school for photo, and I now have a job as a digital studio technician. I get to apply a lot of what I did in college and learned in this program there. But as far as the work goes, I don't have a name for what I do. When I tell people, I kind of just say that it's photo sculpture. I feel like once I got to college, I had a pretty firm understanding of what photography was as a tool and as a medium. But after kind of playing around with it for so long, I felt kind of like, okay, how do I push this further? And quite literally, it felt very two-dimensional. And I was kind of getting a little bit bored with just making, documentary photography, straight photography, and prints. And it wasn't until my junior year of college where I was introduced to installation-based work. And that kind of opened this plethora of just like possibilities of what I could do with fine art. Oh, cool. So at that point, I thought about the space a whole lot more. Oh yeah, this is my 2013 exhibition. So I was already working with things that were very close to me. So it was either people that were really close in my life, it was my family, it was, there was always a narrative there. And that is where kind of like my roots, I think, were laid in. Once I got to the installation-based work, I think I started thinking more about how I could think about environment and space in terms of all of those things, and how I can insert myself into that. So I don't know, just thinking about my personal experiences, I was thinking, okay, I'm somebody who moves from space to space to space quite frequently. Like growing up, I moved around. I think I had it in my artist bio at one point that I moved like at least 20 times by the time I was in my junior year of college. So I felt like spaces were kind of like these markers in my life, and spaces were really indicative of certain kind of like emotions and feelings. And I carry that still to this day. So this is kind of like the little model of what this piece was. I feel like when I'm shooting in my studio, the work can't kind of like stop at the photograph. The photograph is sort of just a draft. And then it turns into like me playing around with it in a printout. And then it's kind of just like exploring what this can be outside of just the image. So it doesn't have to stop there. This is another one. And I should note, I had just moved into my studio in October of 2019. So this is my first time exploring this space. This is my first time making work in my own studio, my first time making work outside of, like really outside of college. So when I'm shooting myself, and this is my boyfriend in the image, I'm thinking about how my body navigates the space. Like, how do I feel here? So that's what's just going through my mind when I'm just playing. I'm playing around in my studio, and then I print it out and I think about it later. Okay, like as an image, like where can I break this up? What can this do? I love dealing with precarity and instability, because I feel like there were things that were really prevalent in my life, and I tried to kind of translate that into my pieces. So it is pretty conceptual, the work that I do. This is the prototype for the one that is now actually flush to the wall. Yes. Could we go to the next slide, actually? Oh, okay. So yeah, that's what I do in my studio. I had added a couple more images, but maybe they're not.
Sorry, that's it.
Okay. Yeah, so this is like studio-based work that I do. It's really just me playing around in the studio. I mean, these are called prototypes for interval 1 and 2 because I feel like what I do in my studio is always a reflection of what's happening in my life. So it always feels like things are in transition. Things are kind of in between states of things. So these are the intervals that I'm referring to. And when I don't want to think about things too heavily or think about conceptual work, I play around and I do portraiture and I do editorial work. And I like collaborating with people. And I guess I just want to say that, yeah, photography since teen photos, since all of that has always played a role in my daily routine and in my daily life. So, yeah.
Thank you for sharing, Haiti. That was really nice to hear, especially because I'm pretty sure I've been one of your students at Teen Photo before. And just to see your work and see all the amazing work you've done outside of Teen Photo and how it's developed into your own career, it's been really amazing. So thank you for sharing.
Thank you, Andre.
All right, so the next artist we will be showing is Ella Rose, and this is a self-portrait. Ella has been a part of Teen Photos since 2016, and this is her piece, Pennies in a Pennies for Your Thoughts, sorry. But I really love this piece, especially because it's so big. It really emphasizes her own individuality, and I think like just the symbolism of the pennies on her face is really creative, and I think just like self-portraits in general is a very amazing thing that only Teen Photo students can pull off this amazing. I'm gonna pass it off to Michelle for our next artist.
I just want to say something about Ella Rose's piece is that I love it so much, and it reminds me of Anna Mendita, who I know is a really important artist to a lot of us. Ella is also interested in modeling, so find her on Instagram and pay her the good bucks and take photos of her. I'm going to introduce our next artist is Austin Coutinho. He's been a fan of PPAC for a long time. He was with us in 2011 and 2012. And then there's this series of work here that he hand printed in the darkroom. Hand printed in the darkroom. And Austin, you're gonna have to correct me if you're done with school or not. I think you might be in the middle of it, but I'll let you take the stage.
Hi everyone. Hi everyone. My name is Austin Coutinho. I'm currently a student at Rutgers University, Camden. This is my last semester of undergrad finally. Cool. Yeah, so we can go straight to the PowerPoint glory. Okay, so yeah, here we go. I'm a little nervous, just so you know. This is my first time speaking publicly about my work. We can go to the next slide.
So I photobombed all the slides. I'm sorry.
So these were photos were taken in 2012, and as you go through the PowerPoint, you can see my work has changed drastically since then. So a lot of the new work and the work in the exhibit and the last photo in the slideshow, I feel is very reactionary, and it's me responding to things and feelings in like my personal life. The photo, yeah, you can go through the first three, and you can just switch back and forth between the first four, actually, not three. So these were there's a moment in my life when I was going through a lot of stress and stuff, and a lot of personal, like my friend passed away, and issues with my mental health and stuff, and that's when I started like reevaluating my work and photographing scenes like this, which are representative of like the line between sanity and insanity, and mental health and unwellness and everything. So like they mean a lot to me, and then on a certain level, they just look like sticks or lines in the in square compositions. But I also when I was photographing these scenes, I wanted something easy to look at. Like I didn't want to look for the subject. I just wanted to be right there because I was dealing with so much in my life. I didn't want to have to look for like. I just wanted like life to me was black and white, I guess. I don't know. And so we'll go to the last photo now. So this was my most recent work. One of my, which is also reactionary. This was I did this for the Gigi Hadid Journal with V Magazine and Gigi Hadid. I actually have the book right here. It was a collaboration with Gigi Hadid, which is really cool. I got to talk to her and stuff. And this book was in response to my piece is in response to the protests in Philadelphia and everything. And this is I'm sorry, I'm just like freak. I don't know. It's weird just hearing myself talk. So yeah.
You're doing great. Is there another picture after this?
No, that's it. So I'll just explain this piece a little bit more. There's the photo on the right is a photograph by Richard Avedon of Martin Luther King Sr., Jr., and his son, who I also think is Martin Luther King. I'm not sure. It might be the third. And so I was inspired of all the things happening in June with the protest, and like my friends were in the middle of it, and it was really tough to see the struggle people were dealing with. So I got contacted by V Magazine and Gigi Hadid, and we could either do a Black Lives Matters type photo, which is what I did, or you could do something with COVID-19. And so I kind of did a mixture of both. Because as you can see, I photographed those are my parents and my brother. I photographed them in my living room. So that's kind of like social distancing. They're my family members, so it's okay. And it wasn't in the studio, it was in the middle of my living room. But I also wanted to make a statement because like there was too much stuff going on, and I hated sitting there watching my friends like get gassed on the bridge and stuff in Philly and just not do anything. Like I don't think I'm a really political person, but I wanted to make a statement for that. And yeah, I think that's about it. Cool. Thank you for bearing with me.
We have time for questions if anybody has questions for Austin. Austin, the work was really powerful. Thank you.
Thank you. And I'll say no, I did not get Gigi Hadid's phone number, so.
I love that anecdote, Austin. That's cute. Thank you so much for sharing your work with us. It's so beautiful and powerful, and I think it really speaks to the meditation that's possible within photography and being able to focus on a single thing or a single idea as a way to power through. I want to share with you, as soon as I figure out how to flip this, the work of Naomi Yehoven. These are 3 beautiful pieces from her series Guau Femme, which means big woman in Haitian Creole. Naomi Yehoven was with us in 2011 and 2012 as well, and they graduated from 2012, 2013. They graduated from Moore. And if you want to learn more about this work, I highly recommend checking out that Oh Snap YouTube I keep talking about. She spent some really great time talking about this, and maybe someday, very soon, you'll be able to purchase this as a book. That's their next step. So very excited for Naomi's future and using the archive. And I just want to highlight this little part of the image. All you, Andre.
Hi, everyone. So the next artist that will present is Natalie Ionesco. I've gotten the pleasure to meet Natalie through Teen Photo, and I've been lucky enough to even work with her outside of Teen Photo. So these pieces that she's exhibited is called Melting into Aspects, and I'll let Natalie take the mic from here.
Hi, hi everyone. So these are obviously pieces that I've made, but to speak about the work that's on the wall, truthfully, I think that a lot of the photos I take don't really have intentions. It's more about how you put them together and the colors you use and things like that. So everything I always take is just improv, just whatever I feel, whatever I see and things like that. And I often deal with people saying like, oh, your work is really scary, or I have family that's like, oh, you're lost religiously. And I'm like, oh, no. But it has nothing to do with that. Like, this is literally just how I think, how I see things like that. And I notice that it often gets perceived in so many different ways. So actually, I've been studying that own perception of like my audience and the people that view my work. I study their perception the same way they study my work. But I also had help for like the photo that I'm in. Giovanni Pagan, who's also in here with us, has helped me take it. That was on a film roll that he helped me direct, because film is a little tricky, but shout out to him. And then I also have some work on slides.
Collaboration is key sometimes.
So this includes some of my most recent work. Actually, if I think about it, I've made all of these in quarantine. Wow. And it's not even half of it. And kind of, I think I can relate Melting into Aspects to this, because Melting into Aspects was done around this time last year. And it was kind of when I was getting into kind of getting what's in my head out instead of just making things spontaneously. I was like, no, let me actually try to say something. And it turned into these. And everything in here has some kind of symbolization, like the Barbie doll being burnt on, sorry, my sister's phone, the Barbie doll being burnt, just identifying with that, constantly feeling fetishized and like a resource more than a person at times, and how being an artist kind of puts you in a position where you're really prone to that. And as well with like being tied up with the yarn, which my friend who helped me is with us, Linda's here. So shout out to Linda as well. And then the other two that are black and white are in my mother's garden. And those two, I'm wearing two shirts at once, and they're both my father's, and I have two fathers. And then on the floor, that's actually all of my work that I've made, along with a print or artwork that we had around our house. And that's a curtain on my bedroom floor. And I'm in my mother's nightgown that is 30 years old, and it's silk. So just everything has a bunch of heirlooms, a bunch of symbolization and things like that in my work. And then along with fruit on the same bed sheet. And I try to make all my work have something small and, an everyday thing, but it's really something that you identify with, or you recognize and don't even realize has some kind of importance to you. So a lot of my work has just lately been about understanding my mental health and understanding identity and kind of how it changes over time, but also just letting yourself freely think and freely perceive and just getting things out in that way. So yeah, my Insta handle happens to be Fujifilm Nat. So a lot of my other work is there, but thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Natalie. That was so beautiful. Natalie is currently a student at UArts. I don't know if they mentioned that or not. And I'm very excited to see the work that they continue to produce. These two pieces are by Sabine Ostenbo. Sabine was our first, oops, my phone died. I'm joining Andre, my phone died. Here we go. Sabine was our first 4-year student to complete teen photo. Andre, who's with me right now, he was in teen photo for 3 years. We have a lot of other students that were in teen photo for 3 years. Sabine was the first one that just kept coming back and coming back and coming back, and is the reason why we created an advanced teen photo, or a different section of teen photo, because she was a student that wanted to keep coming back and keep learning and keep growing, and was really dedicated to the craft. And I think her dedication shows in these two images titled Something in the Night on the right and La Donna on the left. Sabine is currently a student at Columbia College in New York and frequently photographs her brothers, who are adorable. I highly suggest following her on Instagram. And then their work, along with Naomi's, was also exhibited at the African American Art Museum earlier this year. So that was a big, I don't know, we were really excited about that. Another person I'm really excited about is Jonelli Rivera, who's with us tonight. Jonelli came out of the woodwork, was like working on this show, almost finalized it. And then Jonelli popped up and she's like, I want to be in the show. And I was like, I want you to be in the show. Jonelli was a part of the first team photo ever, 2011 with Kensington Kappa. And it was just such an honor to meet her. And yeah, Jonelli, please unmute yourself.
Hey guys. What's up? I got my crew in here along with everyone else. So I guess we're just gonna talk about these. So shout out to Michelle, man, for being so awesome and just letting me like jump in. And literally I took these pictures in like a day, edited them in a day, and then I sent them to her like the following day, I think, or something like that. It was crazy, like how, because she sent me an email super quick. She sent me an email and I never got it. And then like months later I got it and I was like, oh, I want to be a part of this. And she's like, the show is in like a couple weeks, so can you do it like by this time? And I'm like, sure. So these pictures are of so the context, I guess, would be Michelle asked me like kind of like what would I do for this? It's 10 years since I participated in the show. And kind of like my life over the 10 years, like she asked me a question like, well, what did you, I think she did or someone did, I don't remember. But what has happened in the past 10 years? So the first photo would be my grandmother's home. And each picture is a significant part of the past 10 years. So the first photo is my grandmom's house, and I call that, I believe the title is Abuela's house. The one with the trash bag next to it is a shelter. The bottom one is a home that I lived in, which was my aunt's home. This home here is my cousin's home. And then the last one is my actual home that I currently am in. And so the past 10 years basically was me just moving around all over, and it kind of each picture is pivotal to I guess like a, how can I say, kind of like major moments. So and each picture shows also like there's like a bunch of texture in there, and some of it is blurry. The one on the end is a beer bottle that my and if you see, all my hand is in all of them except for that one. And that was because at that time my aunt was struggling with alcoholism, and so my hand isn't in it because it's something that I wasn't a part of. But my cousin's home was where I graduated high school from. My grandmother's ring is in the first one, and then obviously the trash bag for the shelter that I almost lived in. And there's a bunch of other places, but these were the top 5 places. And then I think that I have 3 more pictures in the slides. That's my Skincare John, that's my handle. And also skincarejohn.com has all of my blogs. I've currently been blogging. I write and I do photography on there as well. So you can follow me on skincarejohn.com. This is my first show. And it was super heavily influenced by my family, my mother, my grandmother's home, my brother. And like that last picture I have on my wall, that's Fifth and Glenwood. That's kind of where I was raised at. It's my grandmother's house. And then this one is the second show that I was in. And I was around, at the time I was dating one of the football players in the picture. So I guess it was just that. I feel like these are my pictures. I don't know about that first one, but I feel like all the other ones. Honestly, it was so long ago. It was like over, I want to say almost 10 years ago. So. But I think that's it. What else? else? What else?
Janelle, if you added images to the PowerPoint, they might not have gotten translated.
Oh, that's okay. So the last series that I had, that I recently did was for Women's History Month, and there were 3 black and white photos. You can look at those actually on my website as well, skincarejohn.com. And it was influenced by the women around me. Specifically, it's called Mujer. It's Mujer series. Thanks, Lori. And women that are actually in this group chat, I won't shout them, put them on blast, but they were on there with me, and I was able to photograph them at Rec Philly, which is a creative co-working space, which is awesome. So yeah, thank you so much for Michelle for reaching out to me and being patient with me and just letting me kind of do this high fast thing. I love, my pictures are actually still up on the wall, and I just love doing photography. I was super inspired by you guys. Like the fact that it's been 10 years and there's so many artists that are a part of this now is super amazing. And you guys, like, you have no idea how much you've inspired me today. So thank you.
Janelle, that's so sweet. I don't think you have any idea how much you've inspired us as well. I know some folks didn't get a good look at your work, so I'm just gonna highlight each one, and I can go over the titles again.
Yeah.
Abuelas.
Mm-hmm.
Eras.
Eras. Mm-hmm.
This is Titi Carmelas.
Mm-hmm.
Shelter. And Home.
Oh, and I don't know if I mentioned it, but the series was called Where is Home or something like that, right, Michelle?
Yep, it's called Where is Home.
Where is Home.
Yeah.
So it was like, and someone else had mentioned that they kind of moved like 20 times, and this is just like 5 of the places that I lived in over the past 10 years. I kind of was just roaming all over it, but these are just pivotal moments. Like I graduated out of high school, my grandmother's ring, and then home, finally making it home. And actually, this is my space I'm in. And I live alone, which is awesome. But
yeah.
like, I was able to like afford it and be able to live on my own and kind of not struggle anymore. Because in a nutshell, I was homeless for basically 10 years. So it's nice to have that kind of on the wall and then finally being home.
Congratulations, Janelle. It's such a beautiful work. Yeah, please check out Mujeres. I'm so sorry that it didn't get into the slides.
No, you're fine.
Just some passing of the slide decks. Andre is going to move on, introduce our next artist.
All right, so our next artist is Hong Zul. Hello, Vu, are you there?
Yeah. Hi, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Awesome. I'm Vu. I hope you're all doing well. It's pretty crazy. The first ever online exhibition opening. Yeah, I guess I'll just get started. I'm 19. I'm a sophomore at Temple University. I've been a part of the Philadelphia Photo Arts Center for 3 years. So since my sophomore year of high school all the way up till my senior year. Yeah, I guess I'll talk about some of the work that's on the wall right now. So in the big white rectangular frame, the one on the bottom, or I can talk about the small one first. I don't know, but yeah. So in that big white frame on the bottom is actually the Litt Brothers building on 8th and Chestnut. It's a building. Oh well, it's a photo of it turned a bunch of ways. It's kind of like a kaleidoscope effect, but that building is like a great landmark in my life. It was for about like 7 years, because after school I would always take the 8th and Market train and get off there And it was just the first thing I saw every time I got off, and it kind of got me started. My parents are jewelers, so they work right on Jewelers Row, which is about a block away from there. And I just walked past it every day, and I would always have my camera, so I would find different ways to photograph it and mash it all up. It's one of my favorite buildings because it just looks really pretty at any time of the day. And yeah, that's about it. It's just pretty sentimental to me. The little frame on top is actually a watercolor painting. So fun fact, I am a huge procrastinator and I always wait till last minute to do everything. I don't know why. That's just who I am. That's how I work. And both of these frames were found at a place near the Photo Art Center called Resource Exchange. And I just wanted to see what I could do with what little time that I've had, because I'm also very busy. This is just like a scenic painting. I don't remember where, but I observed and I painted. And then in the front, on the other side of the door, if you could just, yeah, thank you, is actually a digital collage that I did out of a bunch of things that I've compiled like in my computer for I don't know how long. I'm a photo hoarder. Yeah, and I just wanted this particular like small frame to feel very much like a portal, like almost like a window or a door, like something that can let light through. And yeah, and it says "Open Me" on top of the doorway. But yeah, a lot of my work is very it's a lot of photography, but I also work a lot with collage and illustration. I really love portraiture, if you can't tell, and I just love capturing like how people are in the moment. Or sometimes I really like shooting with my close friends because I've never had a deep relationship with my own family, and my friends are the people who've really kept me grounded and feeling at home no matter where I was. So yeah, so these are my two close friends from high school, Neve and Noble. Neve is on the left, Noble is on the right, and we were just very I don't know, I brainstormed the concepts for both of these shoots with the individuals, and it's just really funny how different they turned out and very based on their own personalities. So yeah. Unfortunately, they can't be here today because they're both pretty busy. Yeah, this is a close-up of the big frame, white rectangular frame that's on the bottom on the wall. Yeah. Thank you for your compliments, everybody. I'm on my phone right now, so sorry I couldn't type. Yeah, so on the left, you'll see the collage that is in front of the window. And then on the right is an example of some of my illustration. I'm a huge fan of Duke Ellington. I play a little bit of piano myself, and I just wanted to do a very neon, moody piece dedicated to him. But yeah, that's really it.
Vu is such a creative. Every exhibition, they always took the opportunity to use the wall space however they want. You know, there was no rules. It was just like, here's a white wall, do what you want with it. And Vu always found creative, interactive ways to kind of break these stereotypical boundaries of photography. And something I always appreciated about her, currently studying at Tyler, taking a break because of COVID. But keep an eye out for her, and that beautiful Duke Ellington illustration just like warms my heart. Oh my God, it was gorgeous.
Thank you.
Yeah, so happy. And then check her out at the skate park too.
Yeah, totally.
Najwa Chari's work. This is a photo, one of many from where she's from in Macedonia. It's called Ohrid. Najwa was in team photo for 2 years, 2014, 2015, 2015, 2016. I remember her last year. She was gone half the time, but she showed up at the end and pulled through with a really beautiful final exhibition of these portraits of people covered in this like silvery, glittery color. Anyone that saw it, I'm sure remembers it. Najwa is currently a wedding photographer, so I highly recommend checking out their site. They're doing really good. And I'm thankful for Najwa and also Haiti and Rochelle, who's not featured in the show, but is still a part of our heart and our community, as well as Amber Rivera for helping Team Photo grow throughout the years. And oh my gosh, I could keep going. Mr. M, Danielle. We'll go to, so I'm gonna skip Giovanni real quick just because I want to talk about Avital Brodsky. They were with us for Team Photo for 1 year. They did a really beautiful documentary. I highly recommend checking it out. It features some of the artists that are featured in the show tonight. And this is a beautiful image that she took at her college. It reminds me of Edgar Allan Poe. There's another really beautiful image she submitted of a pelican, but it just, for a bird photo, you know, like this has so much life. And I love the little castle in the background. It's really elegant and hard picture to make. Another Tyler student is Wesley Midget. Wes was in Team Photo for 2 years. This is a really powerful piece. It is called, I don't have the title handy. I think it was called Your Nostalgia, Not Mine. And we kind of worked together on figuring out what to do with these images that they shot on their iPhone. But I think overall, you know, you think about your childhood and you think about things that you see and what's happening in these different moments in your life. And I think it's a very nice play on innocence and the violence of like living and growing up. So very beautiful piece as well. So I skipped over Giovanni because Giovanni's here and I want Giovanni to talk about this beautiful portrait. It reminds me of Todd Hideau. Giovanni was in Team Photo for 2 years. He was into photography for a long time before he decided to join. He was good from the get-go. Giovanni, you there?
Yep, I'm here. You hear me? You're All right, so yeah, so this photo I intentionally took it blurry because I wanted the viewer to like not even think about it. I wanted the message to be clear from the get-go that women are just as powerful and dynamic and cool and just as like everything is as men, you know. So in person the photo is huge and I wanted the viewer to like view it from far away because since the photo is blurry, the further you see it, the clearer the image is. So the message is the same. I just wanted it to be way more clear. So it's intentionally shot blurry. And the title of it, I didn't even mention the title. The title is called Man Eater. So I just wanted that message to be clear that women are just as powerful as men.
Thank you, Giovanni. Giovanni also, he took one of these photos of his mother, and I think the first year that he was in an exhibition, and it was a photo that I wish I would have taken. I'm sure every teacher at this moment, every photo teacher was like, oh, I wish I would have taken that photo. It's such a beautiful, beautiful image of his mother. Highly recommend following them on Instagram and checking out their clothing collection resale. It's very cool. Thank you, Giovanni. Okay, so we are getting here to the end.
Be done with it.
Macaulay, if you're out there, please unmute yourself because I don't see you, but otherwise I'm going to keep talking. These are 2 works by Macaulay called An Introspection. Macaulay was a part of Team Photo for 2 years, and then they TA'd for us this past year. The TA experience went a little bit short because of COVID. And we had to move everyone online, but these are really beautiful images that they made in the studio that feature different aspects of the male body in, I think, a very beautiful way. Macaulay also did this video that it's on right now, yes. We're gonna throw this link in the chat. Please check it out. It's called Exhale, and it is about, Black male experience with suicide. So these deep topics about mental health that are really important for us to all acknowledge and explore. And last but not least is our last presenter, Andre Pak.
Hi, everyone. So I'm not going to talk about my work. I actually have to go get ready to prepare for something right now, but I'll see you guys in a little bit.
There we go. I'm gonna put in the chat. Just put in the chat, sorry. Damn it, sorry. Jesus Christ.
I'ma take all night to get it. I'ma take all night. I'ma take all night to get it, just to get it right. Need you by my side. Need you by my side tonight. For life, yeah. We ain't got history, but we got chemistry. No, this ain't make believe. Pick up the pieces, no. I want a little taste. Can't always get my way. You got me feeling strange. Hey. What's up, PPAC? How we feeling right now? Did y'all have a good time with us tonight? Well, we're here to celebrate 10 years of team photo, which means we're here to celebrate you and all your amazing work. Let's take a walk down the gallery, shall we? We ain't got history, but we got chemistry. No, this ain't make believe. Pick up the basic notes. I want a little taste. Can't always get my way. You got me feeling strange. Hey, ooh, got me feeling that way, baby. Ooh, got my hands on your waist. Now I can't think straight. Got your lips in my face, and I know I make mistakes. This ain't one. So tell me you still want me. Tell me you do. Please don't leave me hanging. Tell me the truth. My head is spinning crazy. I'm unamused. Please don't break my heart when you're breaking the news. Because I'ma take all night. I'ma take my time. I'ma get it right. Even if it takes all night. Just look at my eyes and everything's gonna be fine. I'ma take all night. I'ma get it right. Can't sleep, got you stuck on my mind. Lost sight, cause I'm lost in your eyes. You got me staring at the right one. I'm about to fight some. Tell me his name, you won't. What I gotta do to get you? Tell me that I've been meant to say the word and I go. Ever running too fast, I'm a bad driver. We can hit the brakes and we can go slow. Nice, baby, so fine. Make the booty pop, gonna make it all mine. Life is too short, don't worry about the time. Just live right now, cause we got all night. I'ma take all night to get it. I'ma take all night. I'ma take I'ma take all night to get it. I'ma take all night. Hey, just to get it right. Need you by my side. I'ma need you by my side tonight. Tonight, yeah. Thank you to everyone at PPAC for an amazing 10 years of team photo. We couldn't have done it without you. Shout out to all the amazing photographers out there. Once again, my name is Andre Pak. Hope you all have a wonderful night. Let's go, let's go. I'ma take all night. I'ma take my time. I'ma get it right. Even if it takes all night.
Woo! Thank you, Andre, for a wonderful performance.
Thank you all for having me in this place. It's just such an amazing experience. I've been part of Team Photo for 3 years now, and honestly, Michelle has been a really good mentor in the whole process of Team Photo, and I'm really lucky to have gotten to work with her outside of Team Photo and just to have a place to explore my creativity outside of photography. Like, this is my exhibit, and it's for my music video, and 3 years ago, I would have never imagined to put on my own music, number one, but to even have my own music video, to have an exhibit to showcase for. This is so amazing. So thank you to Team Photo, thank you to everyone at PPAC for inspiring all of us and for fostering a safe space for all of us to create.
Thank you, Andre. I feel like it's what the teens are saying these days. I'm not crying, you're crying, someone's crying. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Does anyone have any questions for anyone tonight? I know we kind of breezed by. Okay, if no one has any questions, then I would just love everyone to unmute and maybe clap and cheer together. Again, it's just up to
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yay!
Love you guys.
Awesome job, guys. Looks great.
Thank you.
You guys did so good. I'm so happy for you all.
I love the work. It's awesome.
So good. It was so good. And especially that you guys are so young and you guys are able to like articulate and like have the language to really just explain. I didn't have that when I was younger. Like when I first started, we didn't have that. You can ask Sarah. I barely knew how to work the camera. And I mean, just them, the fact, and I didn't know Michelle, but she's awesome too. But Sarah, like, she handled us. We were crazy kids back then. We barely knew anything, and she was able to like take us in, take us under her wing, and I'm really happy. I'm so happy that 10 years later, this is what it is. Because we started out at K Kappa.
Yeah, we did.
That's what it is. So I'm just like, I'm so honored to be a part of you guys. Just this legacy, it's awesome. And you guys did so well. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
I think it's awesome that there's so many more students doing team photo than when I started. Because there's like only like 6 of us, I think.
Yes.
And now it's like 60 or like a lot more. And it makes me so happy.
So many people, so many kids. And it's like to hear your story, I think it's awesome. So thanks for sharing, guys.
Thank you all for being a part of this. Again, thanks to all our donors. Thank you to all of our teaching assistants and everyone that's been a part of Team Photo over the past 10 years. Thank you to our amazing students and our amazing staff at PPAC. I hope you'll come and check out this show in person. It's really worth the trip. As you can see, there's a lot of beautiful things in here, and all the work is for sale. So if there's anything that speaks to you, you can support a young artist and take home some work. So we hope you have a good night.
Bye. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Congratulations, everybody.
Good night.